Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, better known as AOC, may be on her way to jail. What? That's right. Why? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Dr. Ken Henry, and this is Conservative Commentary, where we spread the MAGA message. Before we dive in, I'd like to ask for a favor. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. And go over to youtube.com/@themagamessage and check out our other videos. AOC has once again demonstrated her ignorance and disregard for the law, this time by hosting a webinar instructing illegal aliens on how to evade detection and arrest by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, known as ICE. While her supporters argued that this is merely an exercise in free speech and immigrant advocacy, the reality is far more troubling. AOC's actions could very well constitute a crime under federal law. The U.S. Code is clear when it comes to aiding and abetting illegal immigration. Under 8 U.S.C. Section 1324, it is a crime to knowingly harbor, conceal, or shield an illegal alien from detection. Providing instructions or resources designed to help illegal immigrants evade law enforcement could fall under this statute, especially if the intent is to obstruct ICE operations. This isn't just a policy dispute. It's a question of whether a sitting member of Congress is actively encouraging lawbreaking. Of course, the left will claim that this is simply, know your rights education, and an argument frequently used by activists to justify these actions. But there's a significant difference between informing individuals of their constitutional rights and actively coaching them on how to skirt federal law. Imagine if a conservative lawmaker hosted a webinar advising business owners on how to evade IRS audits. Would the media treat that as harmless exercise of free speech? Doubtful. One of the most misleading aspects of AOC's webinar was her claim that entering the U.S. illegally is merely a civil offense. This is demonstrably false. 8 U.S.C. Section 1325 clearly states that unauthorized entry in the United States is a criminal offense punishable by fines and even imprisonment. First-time offenders can face up to 6 months in jail, while repeat offenders can face up to 2 years behind bars. While it's true that some immigration violations, such as overstaying a visa, fall under civil law, crossing the border illegally is a criminal act. AOC's misrepresentation of the law is not just an innocent mistake. It's part of a broader effort to normalize illegal immigration and mislead the public into believing that border security is a trivial issue. If an elected official cannot correctly articulate basic immigration laws, how can they be trusted to shape immigration policy? Recognizing the severity of this situation, former border czar Tom Homan has formally requested the Attorney General's office to review whether AOC's webinar impedes ICE operations and violates federal law. Homan, a longtime advocate for immigration enforcement, has raised concerns that such guidance from an elected official directly obstructs federal agents from carrying out their lawful duties. If the Attorney General determines that the webinar interferes with ICE's ability to locate and apprehend individuals subject to removal, AOC could face serious legal scrutiny. After all, impeding law enforcement is not protected political speech. It is a potential criminal offense. Homan's call for an investigation should not be ignored, as it highlights a critical issue. Are politicians now free to aid in the circumvention of federal law without consequence? Beyond the legal concerns, AOC's actions set a dangerous precedent. Elected officials are sworn to uphold the law, not assist in its violation. Encouraging non-compliance with federal immigration enforcement undermines the rule of law and emboldens those who would ignore our nation's borders entirely. At the very least, the Department of Justice should investigate whether AOC's actions cross the legal threshold into criminal behavior. If an ordinary citizen engaged in the same activity, they would likely face prosecution. The law should not be applied differently simply because someone holds a congressional seat. If America is to remain a nation of laws, those laws must apply to everyone, even to progressive politicians who believe they are above them. Take a look at the following video clip and please share your thoughts about this issue in the comments.
When one of these things comes to your backyard, you can resist. And what that happens over millions of people is that you generate enough friction that they cannot go as fast as they want to go. Make sure that you are slowing down this system.
AOC's office advising migrants on how to avoid deportations. That was a live webinar. Trump border czar Tom Homan now issuing a warning to AOC.
I sent an email today to the Deputy Attorney General. At what level is that impediment? Is that impeding our law enforcement efforts? If so, what are we going to do about it? Is she crossing the line? So I'm working with the Department of Justice and finding out where is that line that they cross. So maybe AOC is going to be in trouble now. Sanctuary cities, they want to step aside. We're coming. We're going to do it for you. If you don't want to make your community safer, President Trump's going to.
Congressman Carlos Jimenez from House Homeland Security joins me now, and it's great to have you on this topic because you watched that video and think, shouldn't she be watching for the safety of her constituents? She's actually advising people who broke the law to come into this country to now break the law if and when they are approached or apprehended.
Yeah, I saw that, and I found it very, very troubling that a fellow congressperson would say that and then tell people that when there are ICE agents, agents of the law coming in to do their job, that somehow you need to resist and resist and resist. That's not what we do. We're lawmakers. We're not lawbreakers. And so one of the things that I'm looking at now is, look, we also get security clearances and briefings, et cetera. I think now that we're going to have to take a look at her security level and her security clearance, because could she be using that information also to aid and abet illegal migrants that are trying to evade the law? That's really troubling, and I think she can get herself in hot water with this one.